Trump has signed an executive order and has scrapped the additional 25% tariffs on India over purchasing Russian oil. Trump has signed this crucial executive order, as well as the White House releasing a joint statement agreeing to a framework for the India-US interim trade agreement. Now, this is big breaking news coming in at this hour. US President Donald Trump has signed an executive order lifting 25% tariff penalty on India over Russian oil. Trump has scrapped the 25% India tariffs over the purchase of Russian oil. And this comes after India and the US agreed to a trade agreement and have also released a joint statement on a framework for an interim trade deal. Now, we have our top correspondents, editors and experts on the broadcast to help us decode this. Vishnu Soam, Aditya Rajkol, Priyanka Deo, as well as Daniel Block join us. Vishnu, over to you. Help us decode this crucial statement.
Well, and it is fairly complicated, the joint statement. It is, in a sense, an interim agreement because there's a lot which needs to be done to actually implement it. But I'm just going to go through and try and summarize all of this in a very basic way. So as far as the India-US trade deal is concerned, reciprocal tariffs have been brought down to 18%. We already know that. So what are the gains for Indian exports? Textile and apparel, leather and footwear, plastic and rubber, certain machinery, organic chemicals, home decor, and artisanal products. So that stands to immediately gain. Now, there will be tariffs for Indian goods, which will be removed subsequently, right? And what would that be? Generic pharmaceuticals, aircraft parts, gems and diamonds. So overall, right, what more does this deal seek to do? There'll be quicker access to American information and communication technology, right, which India requires. That'll enable a big push to set up data centers, which India is already involved in. We've seen a huge investment, for example, by Google in Visakhapatnam. Strengthening electronics and semiconductor value chain. Again, India and the US have been talking about semiconductors and resilient supply chains for a while. This will ensure that that actually takes place. A huge support for domestic manufacturing. Consumers benefit with reduced costs, and several MSMEs and startups will gain through job creation. So that's the big picture. Aditya, I think the other key point which was mentioned is that at the end of the day, for India, this will generate lakhs of jobs. Not immediately, yes, not today, not tomorrow, but within a few years, lakhs of jobs. That's huge.
Well, absolutely, Vishnu. You just put it there. From the political and economic standpoint, where Indian government or Indian masses are concerned, I think the job creation, the lakhs of jobs that will subsequently be coming up in a phased manner is a huge win for India. Similarly, for the MSME sector, it's a huge win. I mean, let's look at the leather or the textiles that will have huge, tariff duties that will go away. So a huge market of opportunity opens up. Just like India's Commerce Minister, the Industries Minister spoke, it opens a wide array of market of $30 trillion. That's huge for India. It's quite significant. At the same time, look at gems. For instance, gems and diamonds earn for India top, dollars. So that's a very significant step. At the same time, there is, questions on Russian oil, etc. But I think some of the basic wins are huge for India. Similarly, with pharma industry, I think it's a huge victory for them with the kind of, duties that will go away. As you know, India is the highest supplier of generic drugs in the world to the United States. So that will be a huge opportunity. And similarly on semiconductors and several other issues, it will be a huge win. Some of the nitty-gritties need to come out, and let's remember that this is only a framework that we are talking about that has been announced in a joint statement. The negotiations will continue till March. There could be more opportunities that really come up. But to the initial part that you were discussing also, there was an executive order that came up Vishnu, just minutes before this joint statement. It said that the 25% tariffs that were slapped in August last year, these are additional tariffs because India was purchasing Russian oil. That go away immediately on the assurance of the Indian government that over the next 5 years or 10 years, there would be more purchase of American oil or Venezuelan oil, and there would be a defense framework where more purchases will happen in the defense sector in the next 10 years. But none of that has come out in the joint statement. And we'll have to wait for the exact copy of the trade deal that comes out in March to really understand the finer details. But when it concerns economy, when it concerns diplomacy, I think it's a huge victory for both, merely not only because of the market access, but huge import duties that go away.